You all are in for a treat. Some eye candy today.
We've got to cut through the noise.
Welcome back to another episode of The Noise with Nick. It's the evening, so we got our coffee going. My special guest is shaking the whole desk. I was gonna intro you, but I might as well just. It is the lovely Mrs. Nicholas Howard. Taylor Howard. It's her first time on the channel. She's feeling a little giggly. I promise it's coffee in her cup. What's so funny?
I'm just nervous.
It's okay.
Can we cut that out?
Nobody watches these, so there's no need to be nervous.
There's like 16 views.
16. That actually makes me feel worse than my thing. Before we get into what we're going to talk about today, make sure that you are subscribed and have all notifications on, because if you don't, YouTube will not show you my stuff, because we talk about things that YouTube doesn't want you to know. Like this, my wife put on Instagram earlier that we're going to be doing a video together, and she said if you have anything that you want us to discuss, hit her up. And somebody asked, what was the exact question?
Okay, shout out to Lars. I don't remember what country he's from, but he has a pretty cool accent.
Sounds Swedish. Just kidding.
So he said, which countries do you still want to visit in Europe after the corona crisis?
Yeah. Well, okay.
Maybe we should tell the fans where you've been already first.
Okay. Let's say where we've been. We live in Italy right now, and we have been to one of my personal favorites, Croatia.
Mm-hmm.
We spent our second anniversary there a couple years ago. We got to do a little bit of trail riding on ATVs, and
no big deal.
Got to go
horseback riding,
go to the
zip
beach.
lining,
We did zip lining, all that good stuff.
Skiing. It was a good time.
It was really good. My only complaint about Croatia, they don't have sand on their beaches. They have gravel, which is weird.
Yeah. I also got sick there from the pork, so be careful.
So we've been to Croatia. We've been to
Slovenia.
Nowhere else. No.
Slovenia.
We've been to Slovenia.
Austria for Christmas once.
Austria.
Well, we went to Austria twice.
We've been to Germany.
Been to Italy.
Yeah, we live there.
Been to Spain just recently in March, right when this stuff kicked off.
Went to Spain. There's a story there.
Yeah.
We went to Ireland as well. Okay. So, when was this? Beginning of March?
6th.
We were going to go to
Ireland. It was
Ireland.
like my birthday trip.
Yeah, her birthday trip. We were going to go
to
Ireland.
Like 3 months in advance before Corona.
Yeah, we had already paid for everything. And we were going to go to Ireland and then Spain. And,
well, we did.
We were keeping our eye on everything happening with the virus, but we were told that it was okay to go ahead and travel.
Yes.
So on March 6th,
yes,
we
flew to Dublin.
We took a flight on Ryanair, landed in Dublin.
Mm-hmm.
We were there for
had a great time.
Yeah, Ireland's fantastic.
We were there for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Went to the Guinness storehouse.
Mm.
Sorry, Mom and Dad. I'm just kidding.
We were in Ireland for like 24 hours. It wasn't even 24 hours. This is the next morning. And then we started hearing about everything that was happening with the lockdowns here in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly in Venice. That's like an hour away. And that was we had to fly back into
Mind
Venice.
you, we have a dog that my friend was watching for us. And I mean, she didn't really know this guy, so.
Yeah, so we were freaking out because
I wanted to get back home to my dog.
We were wondering how we're going to get back home.
Mm-hmm.
So, we bought a different plane ticket that was gonna take us back home and through a different city in Italy. So, because at that moment everything was happening around Venice, and Venice was locked down. So we said, okay, we'll just fly back in to Trieste, which is the other direction.
Well, we were supposed to fly from Dublin to Barcelona, Spain, and then from Spain to Venice. Mm-hmm. But then Ryanair said, hey, we're not flying back to Italy right now. They're on lockdown and we don't want Corona. Mm-hmm. So that flight was canceled. And then we had to book a different flight to Trieste because we were like, well, maybe it's just Venice they're not flying to. And then that one was canceled because Ryanair was like, hey, we're not flying to Italy at all.
Yeah. So we thought
we had to fly to Germany and then to Venice because Germany was like, we're okay with flying to Venice.
It was Lufthansa Airlines that we found like the last flight into Italy. Everyone else that was traveling pretty much got stuck where they were. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of
really long story short, we almost got stuck in Spain for like a month or two. Mm-hmm. Which wouldn't have been bad, but expensive. I got a dog, our responsibilities.
Yeah. So we dodged a bullet there. Let's see, where else have we been? We've been to Brussels.
Mm-hmm. Belgium. Budapest.
Yeah, we went to Hungary. That was interesting.
Thermal baths. Couples making out.
Hairy couples. Hairy couples. Yeah. Where else have we been? Been to Russia. No, we haven't. Just kidding.
Anyways, so where do we want to go to?
Where else do we want? Or do you want to continue traveling at all?
We have like 1 year left living here in Italy. Mm-hmm. For those of you that don't know us. And we plan on going back to Arizona. So
West Side.
We're stuck between, do we want to keep on traveling or do we want to just save money? And we will continue to just drive to places we can visit close by, like Croatia, Slovenia, camp, whatever.
I think we have maybe 1 or 2 bigger trips.
I'd love to go to Greece. I'd love to go to Portugal.
Yeah. But as far as like, we would love to just drive places.
Yes. Because then we can bring our dog with us. Yeah.
The borders aren't open right now. I think they're going to open up soon. Mm-hmm. Everything's kind of getting back into the normal way of things. I think the virus has kind of slowed down here. I know it's kind of going rampant in other places, but we're getting back to normal life over here.
I mean, besides having to wear a mask everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Especially also when working out. Like, how can you breathe?
I heard that the mask is like a harbor place for all the germs. Like, yeah. It could be more dangerous if you wear it too long. Like, if you've been wearing your mask for like a month and you haven't washed it at all.
Well, then that's your fault because you should wash your mask. That's a little gross. Doesn't it smell after a while? Like, that's gross. Or you could just get a disposable mask.
Yeah.
Like the Italians all have, which, by the way, the Italian police here do not issue Americans masks that live here because we're not permanent residents.
Talk about xenophobia, whatever that means. I don't know. I hear that word thrown around a lot, so I thought I'd throw it out there. The other question that he had. So to answer your question, yes, we're still going to travel. Maybe not as enthusiastically because we do have some savings that we need to. Because moving from country to country is actually pretty expensive. So, but yes, we're still going to be traveling.
Not as expensive as flying from the States, but yes.
Yeah. The other question is, how big do you rate the chances of Donald J. Trump, wow, throwing the middle name in there, being reelected? Why do you think that? Okay.
Everything's about Trump. That's what I think.
It is. He's a magnet. People can't help but talk about him. And that's why he's a genius in my opinion. But I just want to show you this first. This is the New York Times in 2016. And I think they lowered this even, because I've heard as high as they claimed 90%, 95%. Trump had 95% chance, or Hillary had 95% chance of winning the election in 2016, which she did not, as we all know. So the question is, how reliable are these polls? Can we even trust these polls? My answer is no. But if we want to talk about, yeah, my opinion is no, because unless Trump just got super lucky, which I don't think he did, then the polls can't be trusted. So we need to find another way to figure this out. So let's talk about the only candidate that's running against Trump right now, and I say right now because he's falling apart very fastly, is Joseph Biden. He has credible sexual allegations being thrown against him right now, which for the tolerant left is should be a big deal. And he can't even remember names of people from his past. He's made up several stories about things he did on the campaign trail, even when he was running with Barack Obama, back when he was running for vice president. I think Joe Biden's mind is falling apart very quickly, and I don't say that to diss him. I say that because it's just the truth. I think he has early onset dementia. He always messes up. He can't go on television without reading from a script, even in cases that aren't supposed to be scripted. So I think Donald Trump's chances, if he's running against Joseph Biden, which as it stands right now he is, in November, I think Joseph Biden's going to get destroyed. Because nobody wants to vote for an incompetent president who is literally mentally incapable of... There's the trash notification. It might be fitting. It might be fitting. I think Joseph Biden is trash in terms of his ability to win the presidency. So there's your answer from me.
So if he has this dementia, is that what you said?
Yeah.
And that causes him to what? Not be able to focus?
He can't. He's always slipping up in everything he says.
So my question is, how did he even get in the position that he's in to begin with? Like, I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I'm really confused. I think there's people out there who would rather push Joe Biden and make him believe that he could be president rather than admitting Trump is the better option for this country right now, which is really cruel, in my opinion. When you think there's a guy who's he's older than Donald Trump. He's one of the oldest men to ever run for president.
Are you saying age matters?
It does in Joe Biden's case, because in my opinion, he should be spending these last years that he has mentally with his family. He should be making memories with them, for them. But instead, he's out on the campaign trail messing up his sentences every time he goes on TV. Did you see his latest thing?
No.
Let me show it to you. Joe Biden might secretly be racist, just saying. On an interview with the Breakfast Club, Joe Biden said, "You're not black if you don't vote for me."
What?
He literally said that. Let's see.
Is that supposed to make black people want to vote for him?
I think so. Some people are saying he meant it as a joke, but that's not really funny.
Is that him? I had no idea Joe Biden was black.
No, he's not black. He's not black.
Well, then why say that? You know?
He's an old white man. He represents everything that the Democratic Party claims to be against. He's old. Or not against, but they kind of set themselves up to, we're going to be the people that are not old and white and rich and straight. And that's literally the embodiment of Joe Biden. Not to mention a possible sexual predator.
Also, I just want to say, for those of you that don't know me, which is probably a lot of people, I do not really keep up with politics at all, so don't laugh at me for that comment, please.
Yeah, she doesn't, so you're gonna get a fresh perspective.
Yeah, I can't even give an answer to that question if I think
What's good,
Trump
everybody?
is going to be president again, because I have no idea. I don't know Trump's history, really. The things I do know, I usually hear from people I work with, so.
No matter what you think of Trump, you could love him, you could hate him. You have to admit that Joe Biden is the worst possible candidate for the Democrats right now. He's falling apart. He really is. And this slip up, I'm trying to find a video of him actually saying it. It's a perfect example.
I also have
should have
heard
had this pulled up.
that people, I believe I heard from you that people are blaming Trump for coronavirus, which I think is a little crazy. I don't want to put the blame on anyone or any country. But...
Yeah, China. No. I mean, let's be honest. It's so easy to look in the past and been like, he should have done this, he should have done that. But then you can go to the governors as well. Governor Cuomo in New York, he fumbled it just as bad. He was sending old people that were sick to the nursing homes so they could all gather around other old people and get other old people sick. And now his state is by far the worst infected as far as how many deaths there's been in the United States and New York. So there's plenty of blame to go around. We can't know the future, and let's also not forget that Donald Trump was taking advice from the World Health Organization, who wasn't even doing any of their own critical thinking. They were just saying whatever China told them to say. We know that now. So, is it Trump's fault? No.
Did you find the video?
Is it Cuomo's fault? No, I didn't. Is it Cuomo's fault? No. Is it China's fault? Pretty much. Yeah, it is. Because they lied about an infectious disease that was spreading massively, and they tried to keep a hush-hush on it. And they were telling the World Health Organization that, oh yeah, everything's fine, we got it under control, while the virus was actually spreading around the world. Think about that for a second. It's not racist to say that. That's where the disease came from, and that's where they mishandled it from the very beginning. China's fault. Just is.
So let's talk about this guy that was beating up that old man.
Oh yeah, I just pulled that up. Did you guys see this?
Have you guys seen this? Now, I feel like I normally don't get phased that easily, but I mean, it's really messed up.
What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna cut this video right here, and we're gonna start a new one where we talk about this. So if you want to see that video, just stick around. It's gonna pop up in the suggestions. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
How much longer do we have to keep wearing these stupid masks? Well, I saw that they might even be more dangerous because the bacteria resonates in the Craig, you forgot to cut the camera again. Would somebody stop the hammer?